but we are also recording today for all of our friends who are not able to join us in person. So I'm going to be sitting and talking more through. Also with me this morning is Brittany. She is able to help move around. If you have any questions, raise your hand. We're going to stop. We're going to go slow through all of this. So please raise your hand, interact with us. We are here to help. Today, we're going to be talking about Schoology 101. Schoology is our platform for managing everything in your classroom that is digital. The one thing that we really do not do in that is attendance. And then at the end of the term, we use a different platform for creating your report card. But for the most part, everything that you're going to be doing day to day is in Schoology. So I'm very happy to see you all here today. This is also a new platform for elementary this year. So ready to get started. Okay, this is our ed tech team. We are here to support you with everything instructional technology. So like if your computer's broken, that's not us. But if you want to know how to engage your students with technology, that is us. So we are distributed around today. We have 3 different classrooms that we're doing Schoology in. So you'll see the team around here. Brittany is one of our coaches for elementary. So good chances are that you will have her. And if you actually click on this image here, it has a list of all of the schools and then who your digital coach is. So if you're at Cal Elementary, your coach is Brian, and he's in the other room right now. And then here's his email if you have a question for him. So super helpful that on this slide 2 here that you have access to who your coach is. Oops, I clicked again.
What do you do?
Yep.
Which one you need?
So just click on the image and it opens it up. Okay. Here is our land acknowledgement. I will let you all read that. You should have seen it already this week. Okay, our equity approach in DPS is acknowledging that we have had many systems of inequity and oppression in DPS, and Schoology is one of our attempts to help close those gaps. So in the past, we've had multiple systems for running our classrooms digitally, multiple ways to communicate with families, multiple ways of presenting information, and it meant that we had very big inequities or some schools had more access to opportunities or resources than others did. So some schools were able to buy a lot of digital tools for their students and for their staff, and others did not. Now we are buying Schoology K through 12, so all of our students will have one platform. This also really helps our community, our families, because they have one app now that they can check all of their grades, all of their student progress, all of that is the Schoology app. It's available for Android, for iPhones. It has been used very widely with 6th through 12th grades, but now we are having it kindergarten all the way through 12th grade, and it's one place to go. So it's a big shift, and it is our opportunity to try to close some of the gaps that our students are experiencing in DPS. And specifically, we are trying to dismantle the system of oppression that we've had in the past, where some schools had more access to digital tools than others, that now we are trying to have an equal playing field where everybody's on the same system, so that we don't have some students that have access and others that do not. Today, we are going to be talking about our cultural responsive mindsets and high expectations for our students. We believe that if all of our students have access to high quality instructional materials, that then our students will be able to reach it. Our students are amazing and they can do amazing things, but we have to set the bar high for them and then they can do it. Okay, so I would love to know from all of you, give me a fist if you don't know Schoology like at all. You're just hearing about Schoology. 1 is you kind of know it. 2, I know a little bit more. 3, I'm kind of in the middle. All the way up to like a 5 would be I'm a Schoology expert. Where are all of you today? A lot of fists, twos, ones. Perfect. Great. So we're kind of all over the place. That is lovely. It helps me today to know where we are. Also, again, we're going to have lots of work time. I'm going to put timers up here. We're going to have breaks to use the restroom, work through things. Again, raise your hand. We are here to help you today as we're going through it all. Okay, so here's what we're going to do today. Right now, we are getting started, getting the overview of what Schoology can do for us. Then we're going to get you all into your accounts. We're going to have your sandbox set up for that's what Katie and Brittany were running around here this morning, making sure you all have a way to access your account today. And we're going to talk about using groups, which is our collaborative space for teachers and central office instructional specialists to work together. So you can post a question and have your social studies specialist answer your question in that group space, which is something that we're expanding this year. We're also going to talk about how to use your courses as we're going through and engaging your students. Then we're going to talk about grading a little bit, but knowing too that grading is largely dependent upon your school and then your communication and updates. Okay. And I'm realizing I'm not sharing my screen, so I'm going to share my screen in the recording. There we go. Okay. So let's get the overview of the systems. Okay. Technology companies love to give us a hard time with all of their different names. So you are going to hear many different names today, and I am sorry. I know it can be confusing. It's not my fault. It's their fault. So PowerSchool is the big company name that owns everything else that you see on this page. So PowerSchool is like the Meta. Meta owns Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, right? When I'm in Facebook, I can send something in WhatsApp to a family member. When I'm in Instagram, I can post to my Facebook profile, right? It's all one login, one company, but multiple different products. So PowerSchool is like that Meta or like that Google. It's a big company that has a lot of different things that we do. So today we're mostly going to be focusing in on Schoology. But we're also going to be talking about the other system that you're going to hear more about when you go back to your schools this year, and that is Performance Matters. Performance Matters is where you're going to be doing all of your assessment. So that is unit assessments, and that is interim assessments. So those are the big tests that we're going to give to gather data on our students. We also then have curriculum and instruction. And just to make it more confusing for you, it also goes by the name Chalk. They love to confuse us. And we're going to log into that today to see your curriculum. So you'll be able to see in math, Unit 1, Day 3, what should I be teaching? It's loaded in there for you to be able to do. We do have a math workbook that your students will be working from. You will have a copy of the math workbook, but this is our Day 3, what should you be doing in this platform, okay? There are some other names that you might hear, but the big thing is PowerSchool, Schoology, Performance Matters is all of our assessment, all of our data on the students, and then curriculum and instruction is teacher only curriculum, what should I be teaching? Okay. What does this look like for your day? You're going to start by going into Chalk, also known as curriculum and instruction. And in that platform, you will be able to see what you need to teach, what standards you're teaching, what assessments you're teaching, what content, what worksheets, anything that you need to teach for that day will be in Chalk, and it will lay that out for you. Sometimes that means that Chalk says use this resource and links to something else. Maybe that's a worksheet, maybe that's a science simulation that's on a different website, but it will tell you where to go, generally overview of what you need to do. Then our students, whenever they're doing something digital, so anything on the computer, is going to be done on Schoology. So they will be able to do a worksheet or again, a science simulation on the computer from Schoology. Sometimes that means it's going to open up on another page, but for the students, we just want them to go to Schoology. Go to Schoology. That's where they can start and run their day. And that's where you'll be able to run your classroom. Now, we are not going to be on computers all day long with all of our students. There's a lot of paper pencil. There's a lot of writing that students do, especially down to kindergarten. You're going to be doing more things physically, writing out, than you will be doing digitally, say in 5th grade, right? So I have a 5th grader at home. She's getting pretty good at typing. She needs to write her 5-paragraph essays on the computer. She did not do that when she was in kindergarten. And we did not want her to do that in kindergarten, right? Math has a workbook where you will be doing all of your math written in your workbook, but we'll have access to digital copies of that in Schoology. So if you wanted to do it digitally, you have access to it. Or the more important thing is that that workbook stays at school. What happens when your student is sick? Can they then do the activity on the computer? Or can the parents be able to see what's going on in the classroom using the Schoology account? Okay, so sometimes it's both. It's up to you to choose. It's up to your school to choose how much you're doing digital or on paper, but we want you to have access to both. Then to monitor how the students are doing, we are doing that data piece in Performance Matters. So at the end of every unit that you teach, there is an assessment that they take in Performance Matters. Science, social studies, reading, writing, math, all have an end of unit assessment that is done in Performance Matters that gives you amazing data. How did my boys do versus my girls? How did my Black students do versus my white students? I can see that on every assessment in Performance Matters. I can see that Johnny has been really struggling on this. I can see Daniela is doing really good on this, right? I have that data all in one spot in Performance Matters. I referenced Performance Matters today, but know that you are going to get a 2-hour training at your school on how to use Performance Matters by one of your fellow teachers. So this summer, one of your fellow teachers is getting multiple hours of how to do Performance Matters. Then they are going to be given the training package that they're going to give to you. So if you have questions for that, I know it like a little bit, but your fellow teacher will know it a lot, and they will be the person that we call a power user, okay? And they can answer all of your questions when it comes to Performance Matters. What is going to be in Schoology? All of your students will be automatically in your Schoology account. When you go into your math class, all of your students will be there. If you get a new student, they will magically appear. If a student unenrolls from your class, they will magically disappear, okay? That makes it easier for you to focus on being a teacher instead of worrying about adding and invite codes and anything like that that we've had to do in past systems. All of your classes then will be broken down by class. You're going to have a homeroom, math class, reading class, writing class, social studies class. Students then will have an art class. They'll have a music class. They'll have a PE class, all of that. That does not mean that they're on the computers every day in PE. It means that they have a space for that on their computer if they want to. Also, grades that are kept in Schoology, Schoology is where we're going to be keeping our grades, will be also synced to our other platform for student information called Infinite Campus. Infinite Campus is also where we do our report cards at the end of a term. So that's usually at the end of a semester or at the end of a trimester. Then you're going to generate a report card, and your staff at the school will be able to help you through that, creating a report card for your students. And then Performance Matters, that place where they take the big assessments at the unit and the interims, is where they can link directly from Schoology. So if they are in your math class, they click Math Unit Assessment 1, it pulls it up, and everyone in your class will then be in Performance Matters as well. Okay, so it's super easy. Performance Matters just takes whatever is from Schoology, and Schoology is always updating with your new students. Any questions so far? Yes.
I do have a tiny question related to the curriculum and resources.
Yes.
I'm gonna be an ELA's teacher, so I'm thinking ahead on Spanish resources.
Yes.
Are there links in the curriculum or?
Are you doing Spanish language arts?
Not that I.
So you're gonna teach language arts in English and Spanish, or like dual, or are you going to be doing Spanish?
To be honest, I'm not completely sure,
Okay.
but I know I'm doing 2 subjects in Spanish, 2
Yep.
in English. I just haven't taken a look at it
Yep.
and dive into it.
So all of our resources, we have to have for all of our core classes in English and in Spanish. So it's going to be up to you then when you get into your school as to which ones you're using at which times.
Okay.
Sometimes it's one subject will be all in English. Sometimes it's going to be all in Spanish, or maybe their whole day is in Spanish, depending upon what their level is for access.
Mhm. And the
Okay.
resources are linked in both Spanish
Yes.
and English in
Yep.
every subject?
Yep. For all of our core subjects. So that does not mean like art class is going to have
of course,
everything in
of
Spanish,
course.
but it's reading, writing, math, social studies, and science all have English and Spanish, what we call parity. So they are the same in both.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. It's a good
I
question.
have another one. Do
Yes.
parents have access to Infinite Campus as well?
Yes,
Okay.
they do. Infinite Campus is where all attendance is taken. And that's also where you can like look up a student's like home address if you wanted to send a letter home, or if you wanted to find a parent phone number, it will be in Infinite Campus. So sometimes you log into Infinite Campus for more detailed data, but for the most part, you're going to be running your day through Schoology, and then your parents will interact with the Schoology app. Yes.
So in school here, it's about my side as a teacher.
Yes.
When I log in, will I be able to see like maybe this week benchmark and everything, and then I follow along and I assign my students tasks for my school? Or it's just like example from what I'm used to. When I
Yep.
log in school, I'm gonna know like this week I'll be able to teach this lesson. Example for reading, I can also find the story of the week. Let's say the
Yes.
topic I central idea,
Yes.
so I'll be able to see the central idea and everything in it. Or because you already said like this chalk,
Yes.
the curriculum, and
So all teacher things like the central idea you're talking about or the objective is going to be in Chalk. Any student facing resources are going to be in Schoology. So like your reader or your passage will be in Schoology, but it probably will also be in Chalk as a teacher resource. Okay?
so like in school, there won't be like maybe like resources for me to use. There won't be something like that.
There is going to be, but it depends upon also what subject it is. So some subjects like math is going to have a lot less in Schoology because you have a workbook that you're doing. Versus science is mostly digital. So you're going to have a lot of resources from science in Schoology because most of the time they're going to be doing their activities on the computer with like some hands-on experiments and stuff like that. So it depends upon what class. When you go to your school and you have all of your students rostered, you will be able to see ahead of time what like all of Unit 1 is. You'll see that in Chalk and in Schoology, and you'll be able to know then what's available to you. Okay?
An extra one, sorry.
Yes, no,
So let me
it's
see
question
if
time.
if I understand. So we will have some resources you're mentioning in Chalk, but if I want to take one resource and to, assign this to my students, can I do it through Schoology?
Yes.
Okay.
So any student-facing resources will be in Schoology, and if they're not, we'll show you today how you can add them to Schoology, anything that you want to add it.
So students are able to access Schoology and,
Yes.
see that activity
Yep.
and, okay.
Yep, so Chalk curriculum instruction is everything that you need as a teacher. Schoology is everything they need as a student.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Question?
Maybe it's too early to ask. I teach special education.
Yes.
So how is it connected to that?
So The best thing to do, and we'll talk about this a little bit later, is to be added as a co-teacher to all of the students' classes that you support. So say you support like 3rd, 4th, 5th, or like 4th and 5th grade at your school, is to be added to those classes so that you can see the students do the work, all that. When you pull a group, the students can be able to do the work in your group time that they're doing in the classroom. You'll also be able to see their grades, their performance matters, all of that
I'll
stuff.
be in as a co-teacher.
Yes, so you would need to be added into the core teacher classes. Okay? Because you won't have the students rostered to you, but you would need access to them. All good questions.
Is this like connected to Amplify with CKLA?
Yes, both Amplify Science and Amplify CKLA will have resources loaded into Chalk and into Schoology.
Okay, and then be able to like tailor the slides or tailor the activity.
Exactly.
Okay.
So when they give you slides for like CKLA,
Yeah.
that's just your version of it. You can then go in and change and modify that, and we're going to be talking about that today.
Okay.
When you have resources like a slide deck that's given to you, that's just up to you how you want to use it. So if you want to change them, it's totally fine. All right, you all ready to get in?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm gonna skip over Google Classroom because we don't need. All right, so we're going to go to Schoology.dpsk12 if you are not there already. And on the screen, you will see what it takes to log in. And if you do not have your DPS account, we're gonna show you how to do that today. So Brittany and I are gonna come around, make sure everybody can get to Schoology.dpsk12.org. Okay. Love it. So they can just cite for a small account for today.
I've got problems with my email because
Uh-huh.
it has like an access to it, you know,
Okay.
and that's why I'm
Oh, interesting. Okay. If we try it without the accent.
I have tried it to.
Yeah, too many times.
Without, yes, like.
Okay.
Without, and I did that. And then was
Okay.
to take advantage.
So, yes, so normally I would say let's get you in, but for your hassles and stuff, let's go create an account and find some email to create an account just so that you can
Sí,
go
pero
today.
la tengo
By the time
por persona y solo pueden
How you- Okay, but I want you to be able to follow along today. Yeah, let's work on it on a break. And then if not, I can call it. Yeah, so let's go.
LMS.
So are you able to log in here? Yeah, it's using your Gmail. Perfect. Okay. So let's do the same thing here. Let's go create an account. Okay. So log in here, create an account. Oh, but that's, no, let's go.
Todos tenemos otros.
Can we try this one here? Is that fine? Password. Right. So log in, perfect.
O bueno, o sea, sí, porque optimizar el espacio, como que tengo todo esto.
Al menos porque hacían transacciones de PowerSchool. Hicieron un estudio y se dieron cuenta que ahorraban más de 6 horas semanales en planeación. Cosas raras. Pero esas son las
Somebody else.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry today.
I mean,
Yeah. let's just go to schoology.com and see what that's going to be that way. So it won't be official DPS until you get yours in. Yeah. So on our next break, let's get you in and you can follow along. I'm so sorry about that. Yeah.
Thank you for your help.
Ay, de pronto aparece. ¿Cuándo?
Okay, so what's the performance?
Y ya, no, que sí, presencial.
So start. That's good.
Inicio job description. Es un job description.
So it's not like.
Es more, it's muy bajo.
Testing.
Porque dice que second grade. Y la descripción. La descripción es como todas las asignaturas de actos que entonces es como todas son las del código. Sí.
Pero a veces hay más profesores que no. Yo estoy, o sea, que me dice de cada dos, porque parece que solo fácil.
Estuve leyendo y me parece que a partir de otoño de este año para empezar con un programa de como una especie de language program, pero no van a empezar desde
Entonces, por eso solamente de cada dos. Entonces, puede ser que las personas que bueno, de kinder a adultos son tan grandes, sí, como eso podría parecer un grupo de un grupo chiquito en el que esto hace falta.
¿sabes? O sea, para mí igual. El director, sí, yo creo que sí debe haber sí debe haber
No, no.
Y baile, también baile es fácil, mira. Sí. El señor me dice, semáforo.
Yeah.
Sí, sorry.
Is it okay if we use the personal email for you to get an account today? Okay. If we can get yours. Can you log into your TPS email? Have access to that email? No, you're just using your personal. Okay, we're gonna come get your personal email then, and we're gonna send an invite to your personal.
It's the same for me.
It's the same for you?
Yeah, because I have access to my institution account, but however, I'm not able to access in this
Yep.
computer. because-
Perfect. So we'll send you a personal
Yeah,
invite.
thank you.
Okay. That works. All right.
Procedure usually have if the students like just that's why we can try it and I can Maybe because you have that. when you can start. Okay, so you just. So now you see. So now you should have a floor. That goes with all. I would have been there, so you have six.
Yeah, but she had her.
Oh, you're set up. She is.
So she had it, yes. But they don't have GPS. Yep, she's in. Yes, that'll be teaching the second, third grade. Awesome. That means that you're gonna have both. So you'll have a second and a third. So no, sorry. So you have to post and do two different ones. I'm sorry. All right, thank you, everyone. Brittany's still going to be coming around. We realize that some people have accounts, some people do not. It's summer, we're working on it all. Right? Like, we're doing our best. We also have our other colleague, Katie, who is creating accounts. So I'm going to keep going through content, and then Brittany's going to help creating those accounts, but most people are in and able to go. If you do not have your account yet, you can follow along with us as we're going through this. I just want to make sure that we can still progress, and we will make sure everybody has Schoology access as we're going along, okay? Okay, so I'm going to open up my Schoology, and I'm going to give you a quick tour of what Schoology looks like. You can follow along, you can watch along. It's really up to you and your preferences. First, across the top here is my courses, and you can see the different courses that I have here. I have a lot more courses probably than you do. And when you have your classroom started, if you are a homeroom teacher, you will see different courses for each of your different subjects. If you are like a special ed teacher, it depends upon how you are rostered in your system. If you are, say, a art teacher, you're going to have all of your different grade levels for art in there. for it, but you will have standard for a homeroom teacher, like a classroom teacher is 3rd grade reading, 3rd grade math, 3rd grade writing, 3rd grade science, 3rd grade social studies, and then 3rd grade homeroom. So most teachers will have 6 courses that you can switch between up here. And if you use this button right up here in the top right corner, my courses shows you everything that you are in, which for me is a lot because this is my job. I'm in Schoology all the time. So I have all of the different courses that I have here. So I have a lot, and this will be more important later on, but as you are completing courses, you also have an archived right up here at the top that opens up every single course I've ever been in, which is a whole lot. Okay, so nothing is ever deleted in Schoology. It's just moved to an archive at the end of the year. So if you're teaching 3rd grade this year, all of your 3rd grade content will be archived at the end of the year, and then you can have a new 3rd grade next year, but the 3rd grade content's still there. It's just under your archive.
Are we gonna create, as a teacher, do we have to create the courses, or does this will give us?
They will magically appear for you.
Hey.
Okay? I say magic, but it's people who do hard work.
Yeah, of course.
Okay? So you will magically have your 3rd grade math, 3rd grade writing, and you will have then content that you go in. So this is a high school class, but you can see what is already in there for me is that I have unit 1 for biology. I can open up unit 1 and I can see the different lesson resources and stuff in here. This will look largely the same for science for elementary. You can see all the different activities. And I know that that's like overwhelming. There's a lot in there, but we'll work through what all those different things are. Okay. So this is my courses here. Also, you have the option at the top right here to reorder your courses. And I'm recording all this and I'm trying to go slow, and I know you're still going to be like, Luke, you are still going too fast. And this is why we have the slide deck with all of the information that's in here too. We're going to have lots of different things in here, all the different resources, so that you can come back and do all this. If I go to reorder my courses here, I can choose which courses I have in which places. And if I have any that are down here, I'm not looking at them at the top menu. I can move things up if I wanted to as well.
Is there a needy, I'm spelling it correctly, NEIDY?
Okay. So we're going to come back to courses in a little bit. I want to show you next is our groups. So we have our courses up here at the top left. In the top kind of middle is groups. These are communities. It's a lot like a Facebook group or a WhatsApp group or something like that, that you can go and you can interact with other users. So in here, if I see all of my groups, you can see all the different places that I can go to. So like, here's a good example of 3rd grade. In 3rd grade, I can see right here is my 3rd grade literacy specialist, Haley. And she is talking about CKLA Caminos and giving me an update on those resources. I also see our library specialist, Pete, in his announcement about media literacy, right? So this is a community where you can go, you can get updates, you can post questions. Here is your science specialist for elementary. So if you have a science question, or she is trying to tell you the updates for science, Eva is going to post in this group. Okay, so this is a really nice place to see the updates, know what's going on. When you log into your Schoology page for the first time, you can see all of those updates from my groups and stuff all in one spot, just like your Facebook feed or your Instagram feed that I can scroll through, and the newest stuff gets up here at the top. So you can see Brittany here has posted an update for a class VR course that she has, and I'm part of that course, and so that goes to the very top. Okay, so you don't necessarily need to check on your 3rd grade group. You will see those updates in your feed when you log in. Okay, so Haley posted this at the end of May. It's summer, so we haven't really been actively posting, but when she does post, it will appear when I first log in to Schoology for the day, or I go back to my Schoology page. Question?
I was just reading there, it says that you have not joined any groups, and it says create groups.
Yes. Thank you for the good transition to all of our groups. Okay, so on this slide here, let's see what number slide this is. This is slide 25. On slide 25 is this button right here. It is a magical list of every group. Okay, so slide 25 where it says curriculum groups, it then is going to open up this document with every group that you are in. So if I'm in 3rd grade, I want to click here and open up this link, and it's going to have me join that group. If I am in kindergarten, I'm going to open up this group here. And if I have specialized courses here like pathways, specials, right? If I have K-5 literacy interventions that I would have in here, elementary gifted and talented, any group that we have is all going to be in here. So I'm going to give you all 5 minutes. We're going to keep helping on the courses and we're going to keep working on access, but we're going to join the groups as we have in here. So please pull up that document on slide 25 and join groups in the next 5 minutes that are pertinent to you.
So for example.
Yes. Yep.
Lillian.
Sure. Why not? They're open to everyone, right? So yeah, if your son's in high school, then you can join some high school groups. Yep.
We're just gonna create an account with a different account. I think just for today, so you could. And then I just found
You see the groups, perfect. Yep, right there.
It is.
Oh. Yep. Let me see if I can open that.
I just clicked. Curriculum group. I did this one. And I went back to this.
My groups.
No,
I'm sorry, the way that they have that access set right now. I'm so sorry for that. And I don't have permission to change it. Otherwise I would update it. I'm sorry.
Yes. See that they go out when I just click on.
If you're willing to share while we're creating one for her.
Sorry, I have a question.
Yes.
I have a really
If I-
Yep.
However, when I created the account, it's just my
Okay.
it's like a finger,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
which is why I can't.
This is just Denver Public Schools.
It's
Yes.
because when I try it.
So you do have a DPS account?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay, so then let's do this.
It is.
And then if you're logged in here as what? Oh, you're in guest. Okay, so then let's do this. Oh, it won't let us delete browsing.
That's you.
So this is where you're hitting.
Yeah, that's my
Okay, so
personal.
log out. Oh, okay, so let's do. Okay, I get you. They have student controls on this one. So if we sign all the way out and then back in again. Okay, so can you use your DPS account here?
We can try this side.
Let's sign in here. Yeah.
Hold on.
No, it's fine.
That was a really long password.
But it's good to have another person because then you can see on submit. So then you can see if I'm not in there. Yeah, so you can, I might, I don't know myself, I don't know, we'll see, but.
Hold on, just in there.
Yeah, no, you're fine. So this will log you in on the computer and then everything that you do should be in your DPS accounts. Okay?
Thank you. And
You're
let's see if I remember now the password.
Anybody I'm not able to get in and I didn't get your personal email, you know, okay.
Groups that you want. Perfect. Awesome. Yes.
So. Yes.
You can come here.
Pero 20, o sea, para poder hacer completar la tarea, ellos me piden entrar a mi email.
Pero es que se creó clase. Yo no puedo
I
entrar.
usually be responsible. You're not here for somebody.
Okay. Sorry about that. I'll look into getting that passed.
Tengo correo que ellos mandaron.
Yeah, so you're doing both things since you're doing both sides.
Pues ya me dijo,
Yeah, if you want. You can join any groups that you want. All right.
24 horas. Y yo que no, pues
All right, our timer has ended, so I'm going to move us along now from our groups. And we're going to talk about courses next. So I kind of previewed courses a little bit because I was getting ahead of myself and showing you from top to bottom. Oh, and sorry, I'm forgetting the account setup. So let's do that instead. So in my account up here at the top right, you can see my name. So everybody, if you're in Schoology, please click on your name. And then you will see this button here, your profile. So you can see all of this information in here. I've been in the district for a long time, and so I've done a lot of things on Schoology. So mine probably looks a lot flashier and has lots of colors and different things like that. This is your Schoology profile. It's kind of like a LinkedIn or a Facebook profile, and it's really up to you how you want to update this or not. But the biggest thing that I will say today is that if you click on your picture over here or you hover over it, then you can go and edit a picture and add in anything that you want. So if you can update your picture here, that will let everyone in the district know that you are who you are instead of just that blue box, because we have a sea of blue boxes in the district. So if you want to take a second, Brittany and I are going to be coming around and we will help you update your pictures. If you have a picture like on your phone that you can send to your computer or something like that too, then we can help you update your pictures.
Mine is working now
Oh,
with my
Oh.
district account.
what
Yeah, it's
happened? Do
working.
you know?
I don't know. I just tried again and logged.
Okay, and you were.
Mine is-
Okay, gotcha, I'm gonna just delete your name.
I don't know what I was thinking. No sé por qué no pude aclarar.
Or if you don't want to do a picture, you can have like a puppy or something like that too that you find on the internet. There's something that's not a blue box there.
Si quieres ya miramos lo de la.
So to get it on your computer, you can send yourself an email with the picture. Because the computer can't do the airdrop. So I have the Chromebooks.
Yes,
Use Schoology.
Yes,
for
all
of
schools, all schools now. Yep. You still having trouble logging
No, I
in?
don't remember my password.
Okay.
My husband, no worry. My husband is going to send it.
Oh,
I
he's gonna
have
send
in
it.
my-
You have
my
it written
personal
down?
computer.
Okay.
Yeah.
For your personal email now, you should have an invite.
Ah.
Your personal email.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, let me try. Thank you. Thank you.
If you didn't have an account and I just gave you a Gmail account, you can sign in with your Gmail. You should be able to go to your Gmail now and have an invite or your personal email. Sending your personal email, so.
I will try.
Yes, that's me. Yes. Cool. Okay. Wait. Am I your host?
Yes.
Hi. How are you? Good. How are you? What's all your, mine is Emily. Oh, yeah. Emily's in the other room. She's awesome. She's great. I'm learning that I can figure out. Okay. Courses. Tools. Oh, wait. You're already in. Okay, this is your course. Have you been in your course?
So if you want
This is you, right? Okay, you're good. You're set up. I don't know what it is, but you're good. You must.
Then you'll get,
I know. So this is your personal email?
a screenshot on these.
Check your spam.
Control the shift. And then
Should become Schoology.
No.
So it's. Select what you want.
Coming, this is you, yeah?
Yes.
It's gonna be from, is this the correct, that's correct.
Yes. it is.
Oh, okay, so do you just want to use your first one today then? Okay. Yeah, for the troubles.
No, that's fine. No, I don't remember my personal password either. Who is still having sandbox?
Well, here, you sent the personal email? Yeah. This. I only did one. Even that, it's fine, I did one. She didn't get it? Yes, it's a personal email right now and it's not. And I feel like. And I used it right, but.
Okay, we are going to move along with our profiles. If you did not get a chance to get your picture set, that's fine. You can come back to it later on, as long as you know how to do it and get that picture set in there. We're going to go back and click on our names at the top right. So if everyone can click on their name at the top right. And because of my role, I have a million schools that I'm in, but you probably won't have as many as me. But what you want to see is settings. So you're going to scroll down to have settings. Okay, so click on your name and then settings. I say it a million times, but my screen I know looks different than yours. Okay. And then your screen should look like mine then. Click your name. Yep. And then settings. Okay.
I think.
Perfect.
Pictures.
Yeah, is that one contact? And then go back and copy that.
All right. In settings, there are a few pretty important ones that you can have. One is that you can change your title. So if you would rather be Miss or Mrs. or Doctor or whatever you want, I'm going to have Mr. And then a lot of elementary teachers like to go by like Mr. Munt, right? So my display name, if I have this box clicked here, will show up for my students as Mr. Mund. They will not see Luke Mund. They will see Mr. if I choose this box. 100% up to you. It is your choice if you have your first name or you have your title there. Okay? So I just go by my first name so people can find me in the district. And then also, my real name is Lucas, but nobody knows me as Lucas. Okay, so my preferred name I have as Luke. So if you have a different preferred name, please type it in here as your preferred name. And then you can choose how to have your first name, or you can have your real name with a hyphen, right? So I would like to be Luke Mund in the system. By default, it's going to say Lucas Mund. If I wanted to be Mr. Mund, I can use these settings here to have all of that. Okay? I can also add in another email address here if I wanted to, and I can have all of these settings here. And when I've had my settings all correct, I want to hit Save Changes. Okay, so at the very end, then you're going to have Save Changes. So a lot of very basic things. And something that can be really annoying about Schoology is the notifications. By default, they want to message you all the time. So let's go ahead and turn those off. At the top here, we have our notifications. So in settings, notifications here. And I like to turn them all off. Just every single one to off, because I'm in Schoology every day. I have my notifications up here at the top right. I do not need them to email me every time a student completes an assignment, because that is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of emails, or somebody sends me a message. I just want to see my message in Schoology. I don't want an email. So I highly recommend just going through here and turning them all off. You can customize them if you want, but look at all those emails that you're going to get. It's so annoying. So if you just want to take a second here and turn them all off and then hit Save Changes, it's going to make your life easier.
Is academic your development or is it the student's development?
It's what your students are doing. So like this is like your students posted a comment or your students submitted an assignment. I don't want an email every time they submit an assignment. If you want to, you can. Like if somebody joins a course, if you want an email for that, you totally can. It's up to you, but I just find them annoying when I'm in Schoology all the time anyways. You do have the message center up here at the top right. It's this little envelope and you can see the different messages that I get here. So you can see Emily has sent me messages. This is sometimes updates that are sent to courses. This is also where families will be able to message you about grades and content and stuff like that. So again, I don't like having an email for all of that because I'm in Schoology a lot. If say you're a kindergarten teacher and you only log into Schoology sometimes, you might want to have notifications turned on for like messages and stuff like that. But for the most part, I'm just going to come in here enough and I'm going to see whenever I get a message. You also will get a lot of notifications up here because every time somebody submits an assignment or posts a question or anything like that, you're going to get a notification about it here. And most of the time, I just find it annoying because I have so many, because I'm in so many courses, and you're going to have 6 courses yourself as a classroom teacher, that you're going to have just a lot of them in there. So the messages here and just having these all off is my preference. It's up to you how you have your own preference. Okay, other settings that we can adjust are like our privacy settings here. You can change some of these if you want. And I will point out here our recycle bin. I told you before that nothing is ever deleted in Schoology unless you like really, really, really work on it. So if you had an assignment and you accidentally deleted it, it's not actually deleted, it's just in your recycle bin. Okay? So I've worked with many teachers that are like, oh no, Luke, I deleted it. I'm like, no, you didn't. It's just there. Okay? So if you ever have it, and then I can always click the little gear here and I can restore and grab anything back out. Okay? So it prevents it. You can see I have some stuff from like 2019 in here in my recycle bin. It does not get deleted. Okay? So account settings with your name, how you want to have that, make sure you hit save on it. The notifications, again, I recommend all as off. And then just knowing really that recycle bin means that things are not truly deleted unless you really, really, really work at it. I'm going to switch back over to my courses. I kind of gave you a preview of courses before, but we're actually going to open up your sandbox now. So you can see Luke's sandbox here. If you can open up your sandbox, we're going to be able to play together in your sandbox. My sandbox is really full. Your sandbox is probably empty. That is fine. Your sandbox is a safe place to play, build things, destroy things, whatever. Think of your like 8th grade inner child or your 3rd grader, right? Like, how do I have that? I want to have fun. I want to create things. You do not have your courses yet because they are not rostered by your school, created yet. They will be coming in August, but this is your place to be able to play, move things around and all of that. Also, I will reference here, I have the course set up here. There is so much in here with resources, all of this. Please come back to this because you're going to be like, wait, how do I add that one Google thing? This slide deck is your best friend for all of that, of being able to use all of the resources and all of that. So as I'm going today, in your 3 weeks from now, how do I do that? Please use the resources in the slide deck for that. But I'm going to walk you through our different ways to do courses today. First off, add material is going to be the button that I use the most. Okay, so I can add in lots of different things. My favorite thing to do at the top of every activity or whatever is a folder, because then I can put most information in there. Your core classes, social studies, math, science, all that stuff is going to have a folder for every unit. Because if I had a folder for every day, I'm going to have 170 folders, which is just way too much. So if I have a folder for unit 1 and it has like 20 lessons in it, folder 2 has like 20 lessons in it, it helps me stay organized. So I can just go in here, like add unit 2. I can change the color. I can say like practice activities or whatever here. If I am a specials teacher, I maybe don't have all of the folders, the units that I would need. Or if I'm a special ed teacher and I have like a small group instruction that I would have, that those folders are not going to be provided for me, so I can create my own. Or if you just have your own information. So in here, I can have like contact Mr. Munns. And then in the folder, I can have information as to how to contact me, because my parents will be able to see anything that's in my class. So I can then post my email in here. I can post my phone number for my classroom, anything that you would want to share in there. Okay. In the folders, then I can add in a bunch of different things. So like here's an economics unit. I can then have like day 1, 2, 3. Most of that should be pre-built for you by your content area for your core 5 subjects. So you don't need to worry about it, but you can also change anything that you have in there. So when I have an activity in here, I can change anything that my math team has given me or my social studies team has given me by just clicking the gear, and then I can hit edit. Okay, and I can change any of the settings I want. But let's pretend, and since we all have blank ones today, that I just want to start adding in things for my students. Your homeroom is going to be blank like your sandbox is right now, because your homeroom is for you and whatever you want. So let's pretend that this is my homeroom, and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to add in an assignment. Okay, so I'm going to go add materials, add an assignment. If you want to follow along, or you can just watch me do this on the screen, is fine. An assignment can be many, many, many different things, but I'm going to say we're starting out at the beginning of the year, and I'm going to say get to know you. Okay, so that's what my assignment's going to be in my homeroom. I just want to get to know my students, right? I can add in any instructions that I want here in the description, but for the most part, we're going to use our Google Drive to interact with our students. Most of our activities, most of our worksheets, all of that are in my Google Drive, and they are all accessible through this Google Drive button here. When I click that button, it pulls up all of my different ones that I have here. So I'm going to attach just this untitled document. Or not that one, let's go here. I'm going to attach that here. And so my students will be able to do that. I can give them a due date. This is the beginning of the school year, so I'm going to have it due on, say, August 20th. I can say how many points it's worth. I'm going to make it just say worth 10 points. The category is just going to be one category for your courses, is just an overall category. And then I can go down here and I can do different things in here. So I can align to a learning objective. If you want to know more about that, we do offer a Schoology 201. You probably saw the signs. That's, we get more into those things. But down here, I have some very important buttons. On any activity I give to my students, I can go individually assign. And that means that I can assign to just some students or groups of students. So if I had, say, 2 Russian speakers in my classroom, I can create Russian resources and assign it to just my 2 Russian speakers that I would have, or I can give it to just my students with an IEP if I'm going to be pulling them, or I'm going to have an accommodated assignment for them. I can do assign to. I can lock it so my students only will have access at certain times. I can have it published or unpublished. Right now, my students will be able to see it as published, but I can also have it unpublished, meaning I can see it, but my students cannot. Okay, so let me show you an example of a published and unpublished. In my biology course here, the biology team has this Unit 1 published. And you can see that it looks normal, but then do you see how this biology unit 2 is grayed out and it's kind of like a different color? I can see this, but my students cannot because it is unpublished. Okay, so most of our content teams are going to send you a unit 2, 3, 4 units. Some of them are. It really depends upon the content team and how they want to package that. But for science, they're going to send you the entire semester of science, but just have Unit 1 published for you. Everything else will be unpublished. So they don't want your students confused by having 3rd grade Unit 3 science available for them the first day of school. That's going to be overwhelming, right? So when I complete Unit 1, I then would just come in here and then I would change that to publish, which is always this green button here. And I can publish that and then my students would be able to see it. So that's kind of the benefit of published or unpublished. Okay, I'm going to switch back to my activity here. And I have some other ones here, and then I can copy it to another course. So like if I'm teaching 3rd and 4th grade, I'm going to have a 3rd grade class and a 4th grade class. And so then I can copy this to other courses by using this button.
When
Yes.
you assign some of the students, gonna appear on the list of the students, or do you have to type
Yep.
student by student?
So I can start typing it and then it'll appear.
Okay.
So if I start typing in like a B, Brian and Rebecca both appear. So then I can assign this just to Brian.
Otherwise, they assign to the whole class, right?
Yep. Otherwise, if I don't have that specific turned on, it just goes to the whole class.
Luke, can I ask a question?
Yes.
She's admin in her course. Is there a reason she doesn't have the option to?
Yeah, because she's using a personal email for
Okay,
it.
so personal email people will not have to see the option to add materials.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So they can follow along and they have the space and all of that, but okay. So again, add materials is where most of our things are. That was an assignment, which is very, very typical. I can add in Google Docs, whatever. When I have a Google Doc example, this one I've already created. Oops, that's not the right one. Where's my? Let me go to it from my grade book, maybe. Oh, it cleared all my grades at the beginning of the year. Oh, no. Sorry, I used to have in here students who have submitted work so I can show you what that looks like, but it cleared it all out. Oh, that's it. So we'll keep moving then. So that's assignments. I also have test quiz, which I'm just going to say right now is the very old system. I'm not a huge fan of test quiz. It's an easy way to like ask like 3 questions of your students, but I just don't recommend it. So if you want to use it, that's fine. The better thing to do is an assessment. And an assessment is I want to ask my students some in-depth information that's not going to be in performance matters. So if I wanted to do like a check for understanding for my students, I can do as an assessment here. But for the most part, your assessments are going to be in performance matters and made for you. So your Unit 1 social studies assessment is already made for you in performance matters. So I'm not going to get into the details of doing an assessment on here because you're just not going to do that many assessments because most of them have already been made for you. Okay. And for the sake of time, but you can do it. You can play around with it. Right here, common assessment is how you launch to performance matters. Okay. So you're going to have these already pre-built, but you can see in here all the different assessments that are ready to go. And I can like search for them if I have something that's not there. The math team is going to give you a link in your course to Unit 1 math assessment already. So you don't need to necessarily worry about this, but this is how you would do it. It's called common assessment. I think it's confusing because they should just say performance matters assessment there, but they call it common assessment instead. But this is where all the assessments are. You can see we have just tons and tons and tons of assessments, and even more are coming by August 1st. That's their deadline to get all of the assessments done. Okay. Then coming along in here, I can add in a file link external tool. This is really nice to just share a resource with my students that is like a link. So if I have a sign up for the field trip, right? I can share this out here and I'm just going to have it go to like google.com, right? And I can add this in for my students and it's just going to appear as a link. So again, if I'm pretending that this is my homeroom, the students will click on the link and it's just going to open up to google.com. But this is where they can post. Again, this is where then I can post for my families because they can have all the links and everything that they can do on their phone. So if you had a field trip sign up, you put in your homeroom, they can click on that and they can open it up. If you have a newsletter, you will send newsletters through a different app called ThrillShare or Rooms, which we'll cover at another time. I'm also a big fan, though, of sending out your newsletter or your class-wide announcements in multiple places just because you don't know where parents are always checking. So if you put a newsletter in Schoology and ThrillShare, why not? Right? At least they're going to get the information, right? And then you can send it in an email too. It just can go out for all of those different places. So a file link external tool is all of those things. I also can just upload something here like from my computer, any old file that I have, or an external tool opens up some other features there. If you want to know more about external tools, I recommend coming to our Schoology 201 because we go through a bunch of different external tools and how you can use other tools within Schoology, which is really cool for it. And going down here before we have some playtime, a page is a really nice just place to post information. So I can have on here like Mr. Munn's important details. And in here, I can say like the syllabus, contact Mr. Munns. I can do all these different things in here. I can add in basically anything I want on this page, and it's a really good way to establish your class. The first one, I was a K-8 technology teacher. I did K-5 technology, all those things. I'm not as good as some of my colleagues in making their Schoology courses really pretty, but you can add in pictures in here. You can add in graphics. You can add in a bunch of different information that you have in here. So I can add in basically anything that I want in here. So let's say like, right, if I wanted a big picture of me, that looks really weird, but I'm just using it as an example. I can add in all the information that I have in here. Right? And then it's going to have that information in here. I can change the color of it by coming in. I can change the size of it. So I can say, oh, that's too small. So I'm going to make my font bigger. I'm going to add a little bit more color because color is nice. Oops, sorry, not that. I'm going to make it blue, right? I can change those different things in here. I can make this really whatever I want. To give you a better example of what this can look like is our actual course that you can get to. I know some of you do not have access to this because you don't have your account yet, but like, this is what it can look like if I get into all of that. And if you want to know how to make it really pretty and make graphics like this, again, come to our Schoology 201 because we have more information as to how to add all of that stuff in here. But I can add in graphics for each of my folders. I can come in here, have these nice like welcome messages, all of that stuff. I can customize this a lot here and have really pretty interactive things. Using the pages is really helpful for all of that. Getting that information. Question?
Yeah, is it possible to embed like a cool site?
Yes, absolutely. Let me show you how to do that. Let me go back. Okay. So I can go edit a page here. So I can go down here. I can do my external tools. I can do a recording here. I can add in a resource from somewhere else in here. So I can have different apps that I can integrate, or I can switch in the top, where is it? Up here. And these little buttons here, this is pretty advanced. So it's here and it's going to be on our recording, but I can switch to the HTML, which is the code. And then if I wanted to embed like a YouTube video, here's where I would post that embed code right here that I can do that. Actually, we'll cover that too in a little bit more. I'll show you how to add in a video and stuff like that. Okay. So I can customize my pages a lot. I know as elementary teachers, you're going to want to make things pretty, colorful, all of that. So know that all of those features do exist. It's not my forte as much as others. It's not my best skills, but we do have all of those options in a page. I'm going to give you all work time in just a few minutes, but then also I can add in some other things here like a media album or a package and add in other things. And if you know any of these external tools, you can use them as well. And this is where you would add all of it. Okay. We are going to keep working on getting more access to all of our friends here today who still need access, but please add in an assignment, add in a page, start acting like this is your homeroom, and we're going to give you all some time to play with this today. So I'm going to set a timer for 5 minutes. Also, if you need to use the restroom, there's one down the hall here or back by the tables where you checked in this morning to do that. But we're going to take 5 minutes here this morning to keep going.
And I think I got everybody in, but if I did not, please come find me if you're still not in school.
So try adding a page, adding a resource, adding any of that. Yes.
For design the new prompts, it's like Schoology 202.
201, yes, which is just our more advanced one. So you all are going to Cherry Creek Reservoir today, right?
Yeah.
When you get the professional learning menu for August 14th, which is our next one, there are courses that are more advanced ones, and you can choose those and you can attend, like how to make your Schoology pretty is one of our courses. So you spend an entire hour making it all pretty and all of that. We also have in our, do you have access to the original course? Let's see. We can course. Let me work on that and then we'll get back to you. We also have asynchronous versions of it all so that you can get it. Okay. What's up?
He tried to join the link to this fit group
Uh-huh.
and it was, he says it's already, it's archived and the group was not. Are they creating new groups? Yeah. I was like,
Yeah,
we've been creating new groups.
Yeah, we're trying to work with specialists on all of that. But also I saw the new teacher report or something. And well, had a group of that.
That's what I. Okay.
So I'm wondering if just.
I need to go through each access code and see. Yeah, that's what I told him. I was like, oh, we're making a new group for the new year.
Yeah. That's a good call out.
I think I have everybody, but
Okay.
like some people are gonna have to.
Yeah, they can't try it.
And this one teacher's whole email is all that.
Did you find, well, going through more of this? Going their personal.
So Schoology group,
Yeah, so for the Schoology group for today,
these are different groups today.
or the course, sorry. I'm noticing that a bunch of.
Oh, yeah, today's the 8th. I don't know if I am.
Add you as an admin and then you can add in everyone.
Can we just take the sign-in sheet? Well, I guess I need their personal emails.
Yeah, but you also need access to it too.
Are we doing a Schoology training at New Teacher Week? Cause they're not gonna have all our stuff.
We are doing a help room.
That makes it tricky when people don't have their stuff.
Yep.
Well, good.
Okay, so if you can just go add members and try to find out, most of them should be under Denver Public Schools.
And then just send them an email invite if they are not.
Yes, or and if you just add them to the courses too, then they should have the courses at the top. But then they would have.
So just people that signed in.
Yes, and then any of the other ones in that sign in list that use their personal.
Sorry,
Hi,
if we
what's
don't
up?
work in here, for example, and
Yes.
a question and we show the quiz platform, do we have a real time person?
Yes, so if you go to like for Schoology or just in general.
In general, well, in this case, it's
Okay, so for Schoology, if you go down to support here, dot support at the bottom, then you can open up a request form through dots, or this is a general IT one too. If you have like a Schoology specific one, it is, they moved it, so. They moved it, so maybe they just want you to go to the dots support. So this is where you can write like a question, like my password or the email's not working or something like that, and they don't have it. You also can call them, but they don't have their phone number listed on the website. Yep.
Zoom out. Okay.
Oh, yeah, your Canva account? Yeah, that's one of the fun ones. Yep, you have a free premium account for everybody. Yep, great one, yes. Also, what I'd like to do, you can go to Canva, to if you go just open a new tab, let's go to Canva.com. This is what we do in our advanced course called Making Schoology Pretty. Oh, yep. Okay. They give us on three, so it's super cool. So on here. If you search Schoology, they have a bunch of templates for Schoology.
On the laptop button training too.
So these are like beginners, kids, back to school, all of these graphics that you can change and then add to your. Oh, yep.
All right, I'm going to give us a few more minutes because it looks like some more people went to the restroom.
I show that.
I know. I'm like, am I just flying through or am I?
Do this like. That's probably what I would do.
Oh, because they had two.
And posting materials. Google Drive assignments. You talk about that at all?
Yeah, I'll highlight that though.
That's one that.
Somewhat because. Let's come back. Yes, yes, okay.
Okay, I'll do profile picture. Like. She does go over the assessment because I think, oh, she talks about that and how it looks different. So I don't think you've done that yet.
No, I have not.
And then also the assessment tool for being able to annotate on top of stuff. If they want to create an assessment and say, well, hey, here's a PDF. That's.
Okay.
There are things like I'm just thinking about.
Okay.
Okay. Strategy to try to help me figure out some list. Does it cost?
All right, we're gonna go ahead and come back. I know some of our folks are still taking a break. That is totally fine. Gonna go back to my sandbox course here. I'm gonna highlight something that we use a lot as a teacher, and that is what Google activities look like in Schoology. So if you've ever used Google Classroom before, raise your hand. Oh, perfect. Okay, so this looks a lot like Google Classroom has in the past. So when I come in here and I go add an assignment, I can have anything that I want here attached as a drive. And I know I highlighted this a little bit, but I want to show you what this looks like. So I'm going to go down to, let's see here. Should have one preloaded. Okay, I'm just going to have this course enrollment report pulled up here. And I'm going to say like enrollment. I'm going to act like this is something that I'm going to assign to my kids. But what I want to show you is that just like in Google Classroom, just like in Google Classroom, it's going to make a copy of whatever Google thing I attach for my students to be able to do in real time. So it looks a lot different than the regular assignment types in that it opens up this Google report. So I can see the assignment, I can see what it is here. Then in progress, I can see all of my students and I can see them in real time working through whatever activity. So this is really important when it comes to like writing, especially like 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, as they are doing a lot of writing on the computer as they practice. If you don't know already, the computer test for CMAS, our state test, is in April every year, and it is on the computer. Students have to write, like the standard is for 3rd graders to write multiple paragraphs. So we need them practicing how to do writing on the computer. So this is a great way to do it. That when Emily is working on it, I can see her going on here. I'm sorry, I have preloaded examples, but they archived them over the summer and took them out of my classes. But I can watch my students writing in real time in here, and then I can also see what they have submitted so that they've actually turned in. This interaction is exactly the same as you would see in Google Classroom, in that I can pull up each of my students' activities. It puts their name on across the top of it and puts their student number on it, makes a copy for everyone, and they turn it in. They are using the same tool from Google as Google Classroom does. So if you've done Google Classroom, you know what this looks like. Sorry, my examples are not preloaded, but I can have all of my students in here. And as they're writing, I can watch them, and I can actually even then pull up the activity and see them writing in that activity. And I can give them comments. So it can be really nice if my class is all quiet, that I can be working and giving them all feedback while they're writing, and I don't need to go around to each student and like whisper in their ear and distract others around them. I can just be adding in comment bubbles. Also, it's really nice because then students can share their work with each other and give each other peer feedback. So student to student feedback is also really nice in the Google assignments here. Okay, that can be as much or as little as you want to do, but basically anything you do in a Google Drive, you can attach and it will make copies for your students. Okay, question?
I'm sorry, could you comment?
Yep. So I'm going to go to add materials. I'm going to go add an assignment. And then I'm going to use this Google Drive here. Okay. So anything I have in my Google Drive then is going to become an assignment, and it's going to open up that feature where it makes a copy for everyone. That's good for slide decks. That's good for Word documents, anything like that. I will note on slide decks, if I want to just share my resources for my students, I probably will want to do that as a link, because I don't want them to have a copy of the slide deck. I just want them to view the slide deck. So like if I'm doing a slide deck in front of my class up here, I'm writing like math examples and stuff like that. I save that. I want my students to see that, not a copy of what I've done that is the original, okay? So you kind of have to choose when you're going to give it as an assignment versus you just want them to view something for it, but that's how you would do that. Then I want to switch over and cover our gradebook. Gradebook really depends upon your school and what you are doing. And it looks different for K1, 2 versus 3rd, 4th, 5th. It really is up to you how you use your gradebook. But in here, you can assign grades for all of your students, or you can grade if you're looking at the assignment itself. Or I can just add something in. Say I did a worksheet with my students today. I can just come in here and I can just add an assignment here. And I'm just going to say worksheet 7/18, right? I'm going to say that it's due today, the 18th. I just want to enter something in my gradebook. I'm going to make it worth 20 points. I'm just going to create it now. I just have a place where I can say Rebecca got a 17, Ryan got a 10. I can come in here and go a 13, whatever. If I don't want to actually create a digital activity, but I want to give a grade for something, here's how I can do that. And I can just use this plus button at the top right here to add in a grade.
This information is only for me or also for the student can see it?
So as soon as you enter in a grade, the student can see it and the family can see their student's grade.
Okay.
Also, one of my favorite things about Schoology, and I'm so excited about providing equitable access, is that this Google sheet that I send to my kids, when I enter in a grade here for Emily, right? So like say she got like a 10 on that one, right? They can open it up and actually see the Google activity that Emily did. So they would be able to see Emily's writing and see the 10 out of 100. Or if it's a assessment, they'll be able to see how their students scored and which questions they got right, which questions they got wrong. And they can do that all on their phone. So I have the Schoology app on my phone. If I just on the app and I pull up Schoology, I can see all of, say, Emily's my daughter, and I can go in there and I can see Emily's grades all along, and I can click on the assignment and actually pull it up if I've done it digitally. Now, this worksheet here, that was something that we did in class. I'm entering in a grade here. I'm probably going to put that like in a Friday folder that goes home once a week, or a Wednesday folder, or whatever you choose to do. And then that worksheet will go home physically, but they have a enter of the grade here. Also, not everything we do in class is graded, right? We do a lot of things in our elementary classes. You're not going to grade every single thing. So don't worry about having a gradebook entry for every single thing you do. There are plenty of things that a teacher is just going to put a check mark across the top. You did a great coloring activity of a pumpkin for Halloween, right? I'm not going to enter that into my grade book, but I want the parents to be able to see that. So I'm going to send it home. So what you grade, again, is largely dependent on you, your school, your preferences, your grade level, your content. You're probably going to have a lot more gradebook entries for writing than anything else, because we do a lot of writing activities digitally. And if you're doing things in the math workbook, it's up to you how many of those grades you're actually going to put into your gradebook. Okay, because the students are going to be doing math problems all day long in that workbook, doesn't mean you need to put every single one of those problems in.
I have a
Question.
question about the students. The student list is already going to be assigned.
Yep.
Going to be already populated.
Yep. All of your students are going to be there, and then say they unenroll, they're going to magically disappear.
Oh,
Okay. If they do enroll, you're going to have a new student and it's going to be completely blank for them because they just came in and they haven't done anything. They don't have gradebook entries. So if I had a new student, I might just start their grading like over here and go to the right. That I can have that. Question?
yeah. That this grade book gonna generate like the final grades for my students.
Yeah. So the final grade is what we call a report card,
Yeah. Like,
and that's going to be an infinite campus. And you do that just at the end of a term. So that's usually the end of the semester or the end of a quarter, that you give a grade based off of the standard. So this is like the grade off of a worksheet we did.
like
But-
weekly updates on how.
Yeah, so that my families can know what we're doing in the classroom, how their students are doing. But that doesn't mean that that's their actual grade on their transcript, on their report
Yeah,
card.
like I was like, every time you enter the grades, maybe at the end, it's gonna generate like the final grade. I was like, asking.
Yes, so the final grade is just at the end of a term. So that's usually quarters and semesters that you enter that into the report card.
So I'm just gonna enter them somewhere else, not in school.
Yes, and that's just for that final one in Infinite Campus, which is where you'll log in just to do attendance and report cards.
But at the end, this is data that we can use
Yes,
to
absolutely.
supplement the
Yep.
the grade report or the report card.
So when I pull up my writing course here, I can see all of the grades that I've entered in. And then when I'm making my report card, I'll probably just have Infinite Campus open up in another tab. Right? So I'll have my Infinite Campus. Oh, they removed my access. That's fun.
Also, you're not the only one having access to all the stuff.
Oh, yeah, because they're doing updates to it. Yeah, sorry.
Because I've been trying like to access the curriculum and stuff, and it says you've been removed. You've been
Oh,
removed. And I'm
yeah.
like, okay.
So yeah, they've been doing updates to it, but I could have my Schoology and my Infinite Campus open, and I can do my report cards based off of that. I can pull up the activities that I would have in here. Again, though, if I'm a kindergarten teacher, my grade book might be very, very minimal because we don't really do that many grades for kindergarten. So just know that too, that this is really options at how to do it. I am not your boss. I do not do any of your evaluations. So don't come to me for grading besides what you could do. It's up to you, your school, how all that works.
My best comparison with that is like if you were using like a paper grade book and you're marking on a paper grade book, and then when you were doing grades, you're looking at your paper grade book and like putting it in that would be your paper grade book, but it's digital. It's the same thing. It's just another place to like a digital notebook essentially to hold your grades in. And parents can see it too though. So they could see the scores as kids are going. That would be the difference between a paper one and then one.
Yep.
I have a question. So
Yes.
we as parents, do we need another account or we're gonna be able to use the same to see the grades of our own children?
That's a great question.
Oh, I thought you were just saying a separate. I would think it'd be another, he's the one that should be able to assist more than me, but I'll try and you can tell if I'm right, Luke. I would think it'd be separate because your parent account is whatever in IC that you put with your student. So I wouldn't use my work email for my child. I would
Oh.
use my personal email. So your
Yeah.
personal email will be linked to your students in Schoology and what they see. And then your work email would be you as a teacher in Schoology.
Yeah.
Does that sound like?
Yeah, you could, but I would agree that I would want my contact information, my information for my students in Infinite Campus is all of my personal email, not my work email. You could do your work email, but yes, you should have a separate one for that then.
I had a parent too, when I was teaching that her and her partner did just an email they created for their children. So that email account was for all of their children. So in IC, that's where they had school stuff too, so they could manage it with all of it. So.
Okay. So grading, this is where you can just keep track of all the grades. Again, you're going to have a different class for each of your different subjects. So a student might be performing better in math class than they are in reading class. They're going to have different grades for all of that stuff. And we are not the experts on grading and how that works in your building, but this is a great place to communicate to your families, to your community, how students are progressing. Also, you have the option of when they do a performance matters assessment, whether that ends up in the grade book or not. I believe in having parents have more access to what their students are doing and being able to see that. Others are saying, no, I don't really want that unit assessment seen because blah, 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 for different reasons. Some people don't like to say that. I would have unit 1 assessment, unit 2 assessment in the grade book so that the family can see, hey, on this big assessment, this is the end of unit, they scored this much. Also, our interims kind of fall in that same category in that an interim assessment is a snapshot of how your students are doing. That's your progress monitoring for math. How are they doing on math interim 1? It is kind of a high stakes test that we use internally. You can add that to the grade book or not. It's in the settings for performance matters. It's up to you. I would turn it on because then the students can see how they do. I'm very much of the opinion that when my students take a high stakes test, that it's so that they can show what they're doing and that I can know how to support them and that they should be proud of the grade that they're getting. Okay. Even my daughter who's she's going in the 4th grade this year. I'm old. So she's going into 4th grade. She has a learning disability. Reading and writing is super hard for her at all times. She is never going to score well on the interims compared to her peers, but I want her to be proud of the work that she does, even though if it's not as high as everybody else. Okay. And communicating out to the families how they do on interim, in my personal belief, is good. You might have a different choice. Your school might have a different choice for that in the grade book. Grade book is really dependent upon the school, upon the teacher as to what's in there and how much you're communicating out. But this is where you are keeping all of your grades. Any other questions on grades? Okay, lots of, you could do this. I'm not the should do guy. Okay, for materials in here then. Want to take a second and know that we are doing some updates to our system. So I'm interested to see how this works, but I want to show you all curriculum and instruction, which is where you can see your activities. That's that chalk place where you have it all. We are working on this and the login may or may not work. So let's try it together and just be patient. I literally have a support call for them. At the top right up here, you have what we call our app switcher. So when you're in Schoology here, and if you're using a personal, I'm sorry, this is not going to work. But you can see Schoology here. You can see Performance Matters. So here's how you're going to be able to get into Performance Matters. And what I want us all to do together today is go into Curriculum and Instruction. And then I want to see what that pops up with. Perfect. So use your Google login then to log in. Sorry for all of our friends that are using personal today, but it's not working. Perfect. That's working there though. Love that.
It's going right.
Okay, so use your Google. That's exactly what I thought. So you have to use the app.
Oh, we can use a curriculum, not let's.
Yes.
I tried to do that and it's like you asked me to log in and all that stuff and I told me that I was,
Yes.
doing and all that stuff. So I think became the server.
Y hablar con Ana y a ver si
Okay, so use your Google login there. So just understand what it is. Yep. Go from there. Let's go to here. Go curriculum instruction. Then you're going to use your Google account to log in.
Okay.
Okay.
I know it's hard.
Okay, and then are you using the first one?
We're not gonna really
So
go.
if that's not gonna work, you're just gonna show it on first, okay? I'm sorry, because that's like a whole different login and stuff.
Okay.
All right. Yes, just like that. All right, I am so excited that that worked. So I'm going to show you what this is. That did not work that way even 2 days ago. So I'm excited. So I'm going to have my curriculum and instruction. You're going to have lots of different like pop-ups and stuff like that that come at you because you're logging in for the first time. It's going to ask you all those things. Ignore all of them and click curriculum up here at the top. And if you are using a personal one today, please just follow along on the screen and with your colleagues around you. We're going to go to curriculum. And you can see a whole lot of different things in here. I have more access, so you're going to see a few different things. But then once we have curriculum up here at the top, then we're going to go to curriculum maps over on the left-hand side. Okay, so curriculum at the top, then curriculum maps. And I'm an admin, so I see everything that's even in draft, but you are going to see what is published. By August 1st, all of our core contents and most of our supplemental content, so like ELD, art, music, are all going to have their entire curriculum maps available so you can see what is public. So the convention here, and again, if you're not there, I want you to follow along. So curriculum and then curriculum maps. All of our curriculum maps are ordered by first the grade, and if that's kindergarten, it's GRK, so grade kindergarten. Grade 2, grade 6, whatever, then the content. So grade 2, English language arts, in Spanish is the S, and then Caminos. So this would be my grade 2 English language arts in Spanish Caminos. I can open up whatever one you want. You can search by math, you can search by grade level. So like if I'm in here, I want to go GR4, I can see now just everything for 4th grade. And again, I'm showing you more that's like not ready to be seen by teachers, but you can kind of see behind the curtain. Today, you can see all of the different maps that are available. I'm going to pull up CKLA for 4th grade here. And then on the right-hand side, you can kind of see a preview. So I'm going to open up one of the units here, and I'm going to open up unit 1. Okay, I'm going to show you that again so you can follow along. Okay, so I have all of my 4th grade because I'm searching GR4. I'm going to choose my map, and then over here on the right-hand side, I'm going to open it up. And since we're in unit 1 that we're going to be starting with, unit 1 is going to pop up here. And I can see all of my standards for unit 1 here. I can see my unit overview. And sometimes it links out, right? So CKLA unit 1 teacher guide. Ooh, that sounds important. Oh, and because I'm admin, it's not letting me. Oh, there it goes. Let's open that up. So then this is my teacher guide for unit 1 for CKLA. So I have access to that. This is a huge file, but I have access to it in here. You also will have the CKLA website to get, but this is our common place to have all of our curriculum. Again, all of that 4th grade curriculum that's there. As a special ed teacher or a specials teacher, I can then see what they're doing in the classroom by having access to all of it in one spot, right? So I have a digital copy of my Unit 1 student activity book here. So my students should have this physically in the classroom, but I also have access to digitally. So like I would always do my planning on a Saturday morning before my wife wakes up because she loves to sleep in and I don't sleep that much. So she would sleep in and I'm, a young teacher. Every Saturday, I would look at what I'm going to do the next week so I can have access to all of this digitally in one spot for me to be a teacher, right? So I can see all of that. I can even look ahead at Unit 2, what's going on. I can see my culminating task here, right? And any resources that I have going on. So lesson 2 resources, lesson 3 resources. So this is super cool that I can go to the CKLA website and get all of the access, but this is nice because I have it in one spot that I can see Unit 2, lesson 3, what do I need to do? It has the focus question, the key understanding, the CRE, bless you, and any of the other activities that team wants to share. This, again, and I know I keep saying it, sorry, is also dependent upon the content area. So for lesson 3 here now, it's having me log in because some of those resources are on the CKLA website. But the main point is that all of this is organized in one spot to go. As you are doing content team training, so as you're going to math training, if you haven't gone to that yet, you can go in there and they should walk you through all of their scope and sequence documents, all the units and stuff like that on the IM website and in Chalk. Okay, so it's nice that I can have access to all of this in one spot. It's super nice as a special ed teacher or a GT teacher or something like that. I can see what's going on in the classroom as they're going through all of it. So more is coming on this. Your content teams will be able to support you more on this, but I wanted to be able to show you this resource because it's super awesome. And if you are like really eager, like I want to see access to my Unit 2 resources, we have them for you. Okay. And if you see that I have some access to things here that you don't have access to yet, like not all of the math lessons are published, they will be by August 1st. Okay. So more is coming. If you don't see it yet, like, hey, where's 3rd grade math? It's coming by August 1st. Okay.
Excuse me, if
Yes.
there's a different program the school is having,
Great question.
we're going to have it.
Yeah.
For Excel photos?
So these are district-wide adopted curriculums is what we're supporting. If your school is opting into something else, it's not going to be in Chalk. I'm sorry. I know. I'm sorry. We have about 10% of our schools opt into something else, or like if you're an innovation school or say like you're a Montessori school, this is going to look different. And we are trying to get more of those things in, but our specialists are supporting the district-wide adopted curriculums. So like Montessori most of our Montessori schools are doing illustrative math, but they are doing a different version of it. So they are working on putting it into chalk, but it's not there yet because it's going to have to be made by those Montessori teachers. So it does depend if you're doing something else, what's in there, but for the most part, it's not going to be. I'm sorry.
So if it's not there,
Yes,
I have to update everything.
you don't have to. This is our commonplace that is supported by our specialist. So all of this stuff is created by specialists for you as a teacher to use. So if your school is using something else, say that you're using Singapore math instead of illustrative math, or Imagine Math is the other name for it. Illustrative is the parent company. So instead of using IM for math, you're using Singapore. You're going to have to access that curriculum however your school accesses that. That's probably a different login, a different place to have that. You're going to have a different workbook than the other ones would have, so it's not going to be in chalk. Okay? Yes.
So I was looking at the resource of the curriculum here, and is there any option to have like a physical copy? Because I say that it has pages.
Yep. Yep. So you should have physical copies of most of these things, but it depends upon the subject, right? So for math, you're going to have a math workbook that's going to have everything that you need to do for each of your units. For CKLA, you're going to have most of that stuff printed, but you have access to a digital copy here too. That will be at your school, the print copies for it. But, and I'm sorry, I keep saying it depends upon the content area because each content team's doing a little bit different as to how much they're doing on paper pencil and versus how much they're doing digital. But for the most part, you should have access to both. So like in here, when I have the student workbook here, this is a digital version. I will have a print copy of this for my students. Okay. So it'll be at my school ready for me when I want to teach this. But like, as I'm doing my planning on Saturday morning, I can look into the digital version here and see what's coming without having to take all those workbooks home. If I wanted to take a copy of the workbook home, I could do that too. But our big thing with chalk here is that we wanted one place for you to be able to see everything that you wanted to do. So I'm going to show like grade 2 is that I have my math, my reading, my Caminos, I have my music all in one spot. And what we did with this too is that we opened up access to everyone. So as you're a special ed teacher, as you're a gifted, talented teacher, as you're a specialist teacher, you have access to what's going on in the classroom. Even our bus drivers now have access to 7th grade reading activities. Because if a bus driver really wants to see what they're doing in 2nd grade reading, why not? It's just a digital copy of it. But we've not had access like this in the past because it was all behind a login. So you'd have to access those readings behind this login that a bus driver didn't have. Now at least the bus driver can have access to this. Or the secretary up front. Or that guest teacher who's coming in to substitute for you while you're out can have access to this if they want. And really exciting is that the principals are going to have access in all one spot that they can see this. The deans, the assistant principals can all see that. Or your supervisor, your senior team lead might teach a different grade level than you. So they might be teaching 4th grade and you're teaching 2nd grade. They can now have easy access to everything in 2nd grade in one spot that they can see as well. Okay. I'm going to give us 5 minutes back on the timer again for a break going through these activities, or you can play with the Google Drive activities here if you want, but I'm going to give us 5 minutes back on the timer to be able to do that.
Has anybody in this room not signed in this morning on this sheet?
Anybody that came late maybe or something?
No, me mandaron el correo, pero no me llegó. Entonces creo que seguro.
Yes.
Se llama andar correr. Lo mismo. Le que el paso uno, pero.
Yes. Okay. So, this is DL2, which is DL2 is the first language element. So that's for like our Spanish language. So are you doing DL3?
I got this.
Perfect. So then that's good feedback.
I get that.
So why don't you come to my computer? I'll show you this. I'll show you on the big screen so you don't have to hunch over. Okay, so I'll give you a preview here. So for fourth grade, there's the ELA-E, which is in English. And then you have the ELA-E that's in Spanish. So English Language Arts is the ELA. Okay, so I would have both resources. This is for social studies. And then I also have Caminos for Spanish instruction that I would do, but it sounds like you're doing like a dual language, like some in Spanish, some in English. Okay, so that would be. Oh, CKLA here, sorry. So CKLA in English, and then I can come in here and I can see
That's you, right?
the standards,
You signed it.
see the unit overview, and then I'd have all the links. So they just haven't published this yet, meaning that they're not 100% done with it, but it will be there for you. Okay. So it's the ELA, CKLA is the curriculum name, and so that's what you would teach in English and in Spanish. Okay.
Just want to make copies of the, let's say, the student activity book. They have like the physical book.
Yeah. So they will have that. Where it's like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like,
things-
yeah,
yeah.
the workbook from the students. So they would have to be physical.
Yeah, some of them are digital, but most of them are print. And again, it depends upon the grade. Actually, like, it depends upon the content, it depends upon the grade level. So like, everything is gonna be physical for kindergarten, but some of it's gonna be like.
Well, like, for the grades, yeah, more like.
More digital. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't have to take assessments.
Exactly. Yep.
We want us to be
Yes.
comfortable.
But for the most part, those things are correct. So like, like they're formatted for that.
Yeah.
If you wanted to do them digital or say, get sick or something like that, they could.
So one thing that, thinking is, if I'm doing business. And then the lesson says that I have to reach to do the work. And it's digital. Should I just like copy the whole page and post to them in Schoology, right?
Yep.
Okay, so that it'll be my task to make a copy of this page and
With.
just forward it to them the way that I would want to.
Yep.
Say like Google form or document.
Yep. So you can also give this, him this like as a PDF. but it's not PDF. I would turn this to like a
Y el 94.
So let's say I can like.
Yep.
That on my own time.
Pues no sé si está ahí, pero en la demanda me dijo que me solo el I-94.
But it's really.
Ah, la cosa. La primera vez más.
I want my kids writing and practice some more handwriting stuff. So and that's where kind of depends on to. Kindergarten, fifth grade, what is that? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I have. Middle school. You're not allowed to reach your.
Yeah.
That's their choice, right? So yes, it does. But the good thing is that you have access to the digital and print copy, and then it's up to you, like, how are you?
Okay. All right, sounds good.
You're welcome. Hi, yes. Oh, yeah. Yes, because they have not. So it's on live. That I can see. Check that out. Yes. Yes, well, it depends on what actually. They're doing. Okay, so then you should be able to talk to the task specialist about that.
Pero no es complicado. Pero bueno, sí.
Yeah, so actually saying that they want to. We want to do things. We want to do this like that. That's Friday. Science, we want to do this. So they basically. Yeah. It's kind of like two charter schools, they get like a lot further.
Va a ir va a venir a recomendar a Juan de Dios, pareja de Anthony. Como está ahí,
What's up?
para de una vez traerlo.
Yep. You don't have your account, yeah. When it goes.
Pero está mirando que
Yeah, so it'll probably be after your start date. Do you know when your start date is officially? It's usually sometime in August.
Yeah.
So so you have like an email and you have like some of your basic stuff, but you're not gonna have access to everything until your actual like official start date. Yes, I know it's hard. And then summer too, it's like it's working for some people and not for others. You kind of just have to be flexible with everybody's accounts. I know, I'm sorry. I'm one that's like, let's provide access to everyone, but not everybody's like that. You're welcome. Yeah.
Two, supposed to be the same sheet. I was supposed to be two of the same sheet.
Yeah, we've had doubles.
Well, cause like I was going through it and like, so this one ends, that one ends, but they're on both. But then like, she's not on this.
It's gonna be so much work for them because they technically put us in two different rooms. So it's 143 and then 141. But some of them, they did, it's all Caitlin, she chose.
These are like some, like one person's on those sheets.
Yeah, and then some people are on. And also, because they printed them last week, anybody who registered in the last week is not on. But they could be in the Schoology course and registered, so I know, it's gonna be so much work. I mean, next week they go through it all and give everybody credit.
The AI and say, please, that's what I was trying to do, so I can have a mix.
Were you able to add them into the course?
I've been adding, yeah, mix, like some personal and then some I can find and then like,
Okay.
hopefully I don't miss anybody, I'm trying not to, but
Okay,
it's like so.
I know, this one has been testing us more than anything else.
Okay, we're gonna come back together and we have about 45 minutes left. We're actually doing a great job of covering a lot of material today. Again, we're gonna have the slides that you all have access to. It has like all of the million screenshots and everything in there. And then we will have this recording available. So if you want to come back to any of it. And then you do have amazing folks like Brittany, that's your coaches that we talked about at the beginning, who can support you as well as you having all of these questions. Okay. So I'm going to show you how you can customize your courses here too. So when I'm in my sandbox, I can do this, but I can do this in my writing course, my reading course, all of those different things. So I'm going to go to course options underneath the course picture. Oh, and then, sorry, I should say too, you can edit the picture. And I like to have my pictures as something that's very memorable. So this is my sandbox. So I have this kid playing in a sandbox and it's a GIF. So it actually goes. You can have like writing here and you can make it into pretty colors, or you can have whatever you want, like Mr. Munn's writing. You can change your picture the same way that we changed our profile picture. So you can do any of those that you want. But I'm going to go to course options. So I'm going to make sure everybody can see this here. Course options underneath your picture. And then I'm going to go to edit privacy course settings. This is a big, long name for a very powerful thing. And I think they've kind of hidden it. And there's a lot of different settings that you're going to want to change in your courses. So course options, course settings, and this is so important. I want to make sure everybody's on here. So Brittany and I can come around and see everybody's there.
Will people at Gmail be able to do this or no?
They should be able to.
Okay.
So, there you go.
There's a deep break. Two seconds, I'm gonna put you back.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, you were first. Yeah, then maybe you are. Like you went to settings here. You went to settings here. Or in your course. Okay.
Okay.
Luke, I'm not where that, we're not there yet.
Ready? And 30.
She doesn't have it. Okay, so Gmail doesn't have it. Okay. Just making sure I wasn't missing.
I'm so sorry, y'all. This is a challenge of summer. You will have accounts. You will have access. All right, so in course settings, I have a whole bunch of different things that I can do here. One of the biggest things that I can do that I want to point out here is your course theme. So on this main page, if you just scroll down a little bit here, course theme. This is 100% up to you. Totally your decision as to how you want your display. This courses that you all have been seeing today are the secondary version of a course. We also have what we call the elementary experience. And when I switch over to the elementary experience, it's going to change my display to be more graphics, more big buttons. This is better for teachers who want to do this with like kindergarten, first grade, maybe second grade. I do not recommend this so much for like third, fourth, fifth grade as they're doing more writing and reading activities on the computer. And you can see then what this looks like. So I'm going to actually switch over to a different course and I'm going to show you how this changes the settings. For you as a teacher, please note that this does not change. It only changes for students. Okay. So here's my course. I have it all set up and all pretty. Emily on my team has made this beautiful course. Look at all the colors and everything that she has in here. And I'm going to show you what this looks like for a student because this has been changed to elementary. It looks the same for me because I'm an admin in her course, but I'm going to view this course as a student. Okay. And you can see then how it changes to these bright, beautiful colors, a lot more graphics that I can have along in here. And it's more friendly for that, like kindergarten, first grade. But it is up to you if you turn that setting on, okay? So sorry, let me share this for our recording friends. So as I come in here, I can see this as a student. And when I say like the pre-assessment here, it pulls it up. It changes how it looks, makes it a little bit more friendly for those students. And I can view it like that. It does not change anything for you as a teacher. It's just how your students interact with it. It is really up to you how you want to have that turned on for your students. But coming back to our course settings here, this is where you change the course theme to elementary or secondary. You will have to change this for every course that you want to change to elementary. So if you are a first grade teacher, you're going to need to change this for your math class. You're going to need to change it for your writing class. You're going to need to change it for your science class. All of that if you want to be able to do it. Okay, so that is what we call the elementary experience. It can be really cool. Like I think it's like more pretty for having it. Our arts teachers really like this one, so they're going to do a lot of their elementary arts classes in this because it's just they think it's more pretty for art class. And I'm like, hey, that great, have fun with that.
Can I
Okay.
add something?
Yes, please.
Yeah, there are a couple of things though that so like if you create that course as a teacher, you're looking at it, you see the secondary experience. You don't see the elementary experience. And if right now we've created you a sandbox course, and correct me if I'm wrong, Luke,
Yeah.
you can't view the student experience, right? So if I switch it over to elementary and I say, oh, what does this look like for my kids? But you're in your sandbox that we created. When you get a new one, you should have sample students. But with we created, you won't be able to see what it looks like for your students. So like when I taught littles before they went into it, I would show it as a class and say, this is what you're looking for and model exactly what it is. You can't do that unless you switch it to the student experience on your screen. So you have to say view as student and then show your kids. Opposed to secondary, it looks the same as the teacher view. So just know that when you are trying to navigate through that.
So this is that same course I was just showing you, just to emphasize this point that Brittany's bringing up. This is what it looks like for me as a teacher. To know what it looks like as a student, I have to go course options, view course as, and then choose one of my students, and then magically it all changes.
But if you don't
Okay.
have students in there, you can't do that.
Yeah. I will be honest that most elementary teachers are not choosing to do this, but more that kindergarten, first grade are choosing to do it, and it is your choice as a teacher.
If you go to 201, there is a way to customize the secondary experience, so it is more elementary friendly. So it doesn't look like all these folders that the kids are like, I can't read the words. Like, you know, it'll be an image of whatever, and they can click, even for ELD or something, but it's all in English.
Okay. Another thing in the elementary experience is that if you like your students to record themselves speaking or with a video that they're recording themselves answering a question, we do that with a lot of our language learner students. It doesn't work in the elementary experience. It's a broken feature right now. So if you like to do a lot of like students recording their voice answers to questions, don't have the elementary experience turned on for that. It's just, it doesn't work. Unfortunately, we've raised that to Schoology and they are aware. Okay, so that is a course setting that is an option for you here. I'm going to go back up to the top here and just show you some of the other course settings. So on info, you can see the course name, the basics of the course, the level. All of this stuff should be set for your core classes. So your math class is going to be set to third grade math when you're teaching that. It's going to have all of that, but just showing you the information that you have here. I also have details here, so I can add in descriptions or location if I want. So like I can add in my classroom number here if I have it. I can change when does the class meet. So like if I'm a specials teacher and I only have this class on Mondays, I can choose to just have that class on Mondays. External tools is what tools can be turned on and off. Your school might be buying some of these tools. So like if your school is buying Edpuzzle, you can have that turned on for your students. If your school is not buying it, oh, it's on by default. Never mind. You can do all of that. Don't worry about the SCORM, but then you also have the moderate here. Is that who can do posts for the course that I can have and moderate. And then again, this is another way to get to your recycling bin and see those things that maybe I accidentally deleted that I want to add back in. It's not really deleted. I can have that. But the biggest thing here, again, I'll go to the privacy core settings, is that switching between the elementary and the secondary. And that's up to you how to do that. Okay. We've covered materials. We've covered gradebook. I'm also going to show you another feature here about updates. A lot of elementary teachers like to post an update here that is going to appear at the top when a student logs into your class. Say, math test is coming on Friday. Make sure to study, right? I can add in here, I can then change up like my colors, my fonts and stuff like that. So I can make it like bold. I can add in practice unit 2 activities, right? I can add in different things in here, and then I can add in files here. So this is where you can make things like really pretty, like we see in some of our other courses here. When I have in some different pretty things, I can add in different images and all of that I can have in, or if I show you, sorry, let me show you our course for today. When I go to updates here, if there's like an image or a banner or something that you want to be able to post, you can post that as an image here. It's in one of our more advanced courses, but we do have full access to Canva. So if you've ever used Canva before, every teacher gets Canva Premium. So you get all of the features in Canva for free in DPS. Oh yeah, it's a cool thing. So if you go to Canva, and actually, you know what? I'm just going to show it to you. I'm going to give you a because this is awesome. I heard the ahs, right? So I'm going to go to canva.com. Everybody has an account in DPS, so you can log in. If I go to just Schoology here, and I search for Schoology, there are a ton of pre-made things, right? Oh, so here we go. So I have Canva. This is our more advanced, but I'm going to use this. I'm not logging into my right account. That's how you would do it. It's not hitting my account today. I'm having account issues too, like everybody else. So I can come in here and I can take this banner and then I can upload it to my announcements. I can add it in here. And then that would appear at the top of my course as that new banner that I can have on there. So everybody has access to the Canva Premium so that you can be able to make those things pretty, do an update. So I can add in a graphic here for like, say I'm teaching first grade, my students might have limited language abilities. So I could just say math test Friday and make it like a pretty image there, and I can add it in, do a better announcement than just my text here. Also coming down here, we are not doing attendance in the class. We're doing that in Infinite Campus, but I can also see all of my members here. So we've had questions about like, hey, where are my students? How do I see them all? I can see it in here. Also, this is just my colleagues. This is my sandbox, but you will have your parents' names of your students in gray boxes underneath their student name. So I will see like Peter Douglas's parents on here as they have it. Okay, so then I can be able to click on the parent profiles as well. Again, it is summer, so I'm sorry that we can't see that right now, but that feature will be there. And an important thing, and I'm going to shout out my GT teachers and my special ed teachers, please add them into your courses. Okay, I have a special ed teacher who is helping pull groups for my math course. What I want to do is I want to add them as a member. So I'm going to show you how to do that here. This is in the instructions in the slide deck as well, in case you forget, but please add them as a member here. So I can add in, say, Brittany. On my class. So I'm going to have Brittany as a special ed teacher in here. I'm going to find her here. She's in my group already. So I'm going to add her in. And if I just leave Brittany as a student in this class, every night it's going to kick her out because it pulls my student list every single night. But Brittany is special because she's the teacher.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I'm just adding you as a co-teacher.
Okay.
If I come to Brittany here, so I've added her to my class because she's my special ed teacher, she's my GT teacher, she's my reading intervention teacher, whatever. If I come to this gear right next to her, I can make her an admin. Now she has full access to my class. She can help me with grading. She can pull a small group and enter in the grades for those students on an activity. She can pull up student work just like I can. Or let's say she's a paraprofessional in my class. I can actually then even edit what role she has in my class. So let's say that I want her as a paraprofessional to view the materials, but not be able to grade. I can then change that setting there. Now she's in my class. She'll be able to see everything that the students do, but she doesn't enter in grades because she's a paraprofessional. I don't want her to do that. And then you can see here the little admin badge next to her name has changed because she doesn't have the same level of access that, say, Drea does as another teacher. So you can choose that, but please add in your reading intervention, your math intervention, your special ed teachers, right? Add them into your courses so that they have it. They will not be automatically added in. You will be there as the teacher, but please add in all of those folks. Super important, great for collaboration. Okay, and if you forget how to do that, please use the slide deck. It shows you how to do that when the school year starts.
Or ask us.
Or ask us. Yep. Okay, I'm going to come back to my materials here. Brittany, I've done elementary experience materials.
You said you will need a Google assignments and comments. Don't do that tracker here.
Oh, I haven't done resources yet. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to remember where I'm in all of this. Anything that I have in my courses are in my courses and they live there, but I might want to share things out with other people, or I might want to save things for another year, right? If I'm teaching the same third grade class over and over again, I want to save that in a separate spot that we call resources. So resources is up here at the very top. And these are all resources that I have saved from past classes, and I can be in a group training. So like Hamilton Middle School is a school that I used to work at, and I created some badges for the students in Hamilton, and I could share this with everybody else. So I could add in more fellow teachers into my resources to share things out. The way that we get things to our resources is by in my class here, say this is my writing prompt that I want to share with like another teacher. I can go here to save to resources. I can choose where to put it, so I can have it in a different collection. So right, like I can save it to, this is a Hamilton faculty group, so I can share it to anybody else in the faculty. I can share it to like a third grade group. I can say to any of the other resources that I've shared here. I can do something else. So let's just add it. So like the badges here, I can choose what folder it is and I can save a copy. So if you want to work well with a co-teacher, you can save things to a shared space in your resources there. And then they can have that, or you can have it shared out for the entire school. So one thing that the principal at Hamilton Middle School wanted to be able to do is that he wanted to be able to give this special principal's badge to students that he saw doing amazing things. And so he asked everybody in the school to add that badge to their classes. So we made this shared place and then everybody could come here and then copy to their course and they could add in that. And then he would go into a class. So he'd go into like Miss Diaz's class and he would award that principal badge to that student in Miss Diaz's class. So you can use your shared resources that way. It is fun. It is a little bit more advanced to be able to copy things that way. The other way that we can share things between classes is that I can make somebody else an admin in my class. And then if I create something, they can go and copy it to their course. So anything that I have here, so let's say this is my Google Doc example. They can come into my class as an admin and they can copy to their own course. We use this a lot in 6 through 12 when teachers are teaching the same subject and they're creating a lot of their resources. But you can do this with any of your co-teachers. So like if I create something on Saturday morning when I'm planning, then I'm co-teaching with Brittany. Brittany can come into my class, grab it and copy it to her class by using this copy to course here. Or if I'm in an archived course, if I'm in a course that I accessed last year, I can move entire folders or entire activities to this year from last year by using this copy to course.
If you're sharing, yeah, if you want to share something like that Google document, do you need prior to that, you need to share the access, right? With all the
Great question. Yes. So if it is a Google Doc or a sheet or something like that, please share that Google Doc or sheet with them as well. When I copy this over, I'm so glad you asked that question. It's going to take away as Mr. Munn's Google Doc. It's going to take the whole assignment over there, but the new class, Ms. Hermosillo's class, does not have access to my Google Drive because they're a different class. She would have to make a copy for her class and then attach it again by adding it in. So that's a good question. It is a problem with Google, and it's just like who's the owner of the Google Doc versus who's the owner of the assignment in Schoology.
But in case you, for example, you're creating some resources where you're not using Google, but another tool or another thing. When you share this with your classmate, your coworkers, are you able to, to share the original document or?
Yes. So if it's anything Google, you have to share the Google thing. But if it's not Google, it'll just copy over. So like here's a discussion board, which we didn't cover so much because it's not in elementary school as much, but you can have students posting digitally to a discussion board. If I copy that over to a different course, it's going to appear exactly as that discussion board. I don't need to reattach anything there. It's only the Google things that then become special. So I can copy this over to a different course here, and then that discussion is going to appear exactly the way I want it. I would just need to say, when is that due for this new class? Where do I want to put it in that class? So do I want it like in practice time? And I can copy it over. We are teachers. We love stealing, copying from each other. So this is great. I did that, right? My first year as a social studies teacher in the district, my partner teacher and I would alternate who did what unit. So she would plan unit 1, I would plan unit 2, unit 3. We didn't have something as cool as chalk back in my day when I was a classroom teacher. And so we would alternate. And so I would go in every Monday morning and grab all the stuff that she had built for her classes. I would copy it over to my class and I'd be able to use it that way for it. So please steal from each other, go in, copy. I like making as many people as co-admins, add your principal, your assistant principal, all of those in so that they can do it. And this is the best system ever for any substitute teachers because you can add in all of your activities for a student to do and then just say, the activities for the day are in Schoology, right? So like, I'm going to add like a folder in here, say, Mr. Mund is sick. Do this today, right? And I can add in any activities that I want. I'm going to make it like red, Subplans are so much easier because, man, when I left substitute teacher plans, I'm going to drag it all the way to the top. When I left my subplans, it was always like a gamble if the sub would actually do my subplans. But ever since I started using Schoology, I would just build a folder like this, and I would put all of my subplans at the very, very, very top for my students. Sorry, I have a lot in this course. I should delete some stuff. I would put it at the very top like this, and then the substitute would just have to get everybody into Schoology. The students would open this up, and I would have all of the activities built in for that day. I wouldn't even put it in like unit 1 or unit 2. I would make that special folder for just the day I'm going to be out, so that it was really clear for the kids what they could do, and I can add in materials in the folder as to what they would do that day. So I could kind of drag and drop things into that folder for what they did for that day.
It means that, for example, if you create your own resources and you're teaching right now 3rd grade in this school, but next year you're moving to another school,
Yep.
the same subject, the same grade level, you're
Yep.
able to keep those resources.
Yep, and I showed this at the beginning, but I'm going to show it again just so that we can see that, and it was at the very beginning. So when I go to my courses, all of anything I've ever done, no matter what school it is in my archive.
It's automatically.
Yep, it's automatically archived. So you can see here, DPS Instructional Coaching Module 3, I took that a long time ago, or whatever. I can go in, I can still have access to this thing that I haven't touched in like 5 years. It's all in your archive, and it follows you wherever you've been. So this is all of your professional learning courses, and everything that you've taught as a teacher is all in here. So I have everything that I need going forward. So if I switch schools, if I switch grades, I still have those things that I can build in. Schoology doesn't delete things. Like, you have to work real hard. It's saved somewhere. And then that's great, because then I can use those things over and over again as a teacher, right? My very first assistant principal, who was my supervisor, I thought I was like really cool first year teacher. I was not. He always said, like, it takes you 3 years of teaching something before you're a real master of it, right? So like, if I'm a 3rd grade teacher, it takes me multiple years to do it. I'm going to keep using those activities, but then every time I teach it, I'm going to change it up a little bit, modify it, but I still have access to it all. That's the beauty of having the digital things, right? Like my workbook and stuff, that's cool, but that's somebody else who's making it. Anything I do digitally, I can copy, create, modify as I want, and then I can go in there. Question?
How many years have DPS used Schoology?
So great question. We've been using it for 8 years, but this is going to be the first year we're using it in elementary school.
Okay.
In the past, we had different tools or school bought tools. I worked really hard to get the superintendent to approve that we would have it from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade. So you all are joining in at a really great opportunity, because we haven't had it in the past. And it's something like our teachers who have been in the district for a long time have been wanting, and now we finally have.
Okay, and there's no like near plans of changing it?
We signed a 4-year contract with them. So for the next 4 years at least, we will have it.
Okay,
And I will say that, like, we went out, it's called an RFP, like, hey, we want to find the best thing. We did that for kindergarten through 12th grade this last year. We had a bunch of the big companies, Blackboard, Canvas, all that stuff bid, gave us their best pitches, and our teachers, our principals and everything were like 6th through 12th grade, because they loved it so much. They're like, do not switch, do not switch, do not switch. And we're like, well, let's play it out, right? Let's see what's out there in the dating fields for other tools. Nothing compared to Schoology. So we're big fans of it. It's used so well, 6 through 12. If I took it away from that like 9th grade English teacher, they're going to like hunt me down at my house because they've used it for so long and they like it. It's not perfect by far, but it's very well loved, and I'm very excited then to have it for elementary, so you all have it.
Yeah.
It's like way better than Google Classroom and Seesaw we've used in the past and stuff like that. It's just way, way better, more comprehensive than any of those other tools.
just asking because in my experience, I used it 1 year in Virginia.
Yes.
Then the contract ended and they changed to
Yep.
Canvas. So I had to relearn everything that we learned on Schoology and relearned it in another app, which was Canvas. And
kind of welcome back to the Schoology, which is nice. I love it. So,
Yeah.
I just wanted to like think how much I want to input, like into Schoology.
Effort.
4 years.
Okay,
We've got 4 years.
okay,
4 years.
because I don't want to be like all my resources and then
Exactly.
knowing that it's gonna change
Yep.
to another one and then delete everything. But at least for 4 years we have it.
And unfortunately, that does happen in education, right? Is we just switched math curriculum, so everything that you've been doing for math now is different. But for 4 years,
Okay.
we have this platform, and then I don't see it leaving after that even, but
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's good.
4 years. So feel free to put things in there, build it out, and it'll be there. And I mean, too, you can see that I have 8 years worth of stuff in my archive. I have stuff from the pandemic when I was like supporting teachers teaching remotely. Like I just have just tons and tons of stuff here, right? So like this course here is from Professional Learning 2021, right? Schoology has been in the district for a very long time. It's just now we're adding elementary for the first time as a real experience.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Do we have anybody in this room that is not new to DPS? Or is everybody new to DPS? That's something Emily went over is getting rid of groups and stuff,
Oh, yeah.
but I didn't.
Yeah, I'm trying to change it up a little for all of our folks. All right. Let's see. A little pop quiz for you all. How do we do this? A student wants to respond to a prompt and reply to 2 different peers. Oh, that's discussion boards, which we didn't talk about. Okay. I need to share instructions and resources for a project. There's nothing to turn in. Where can students share resources with a teacher for a project? Schoology? Where in Schoology can I have students turn in resources for a project?
Is it
It's in the course.
Publishing?
Yep.
The students publish instructions or
Yep.
the teacher publish instructions?
So the student wants access to the instructions and I need to share it as a teacher. Where can I share instructions? So like I have a writing activity that I want them to do. Where can I add that in?
I will do pages.
Pages? Okay, tell me more.
Yeah, so I will go to my course and I will add materials and I will add a page.
Okay.
Where I can explain all the activity and all the instructions that I want to have for my students. And even if there is a link for a let's say a research website on
Yeah.
earth cycles, I don't know, rock cycle. I will put the link over there and I will set all instructions right there in the page. And since there's nothing to turn in, there's no need to be an assignment.
Right, so I'm gonna have all of that. That's one way to do it. What you could do too, I will say, is I can do it as an assignment if I wanted to have them like turn something in, but exactly right, that we have that. Let's see what else we got here. Students need to submit a file for feedback and a grade. So I want something that's actually graded this time. Where can I do this as a teacher?
Give the point.
Ah, yes, there we go. So this one, I'm gonna add in assignment here.
And there,
Yep,
and then you put how many points?
okay, so how many points here? I'm gonna make it worth 50 points. When is it
That you do.
due, right? Okay, and I would add it all in here. If it's like a worksheet, I would attach it here. And I would go create. I have too much stuff in my sandbox already, so I'm not gonna actually hit create on that one. But I would have that.
Sorry, we need to always have a, what is it called? When you do assignments.
Yep.
You always need a theory, right?
Yes, and for elementary, it's always just going to be an overall grade. Is what it's called, and that's already set for you. You only have one category and it's just called overall.
Okay.
That's going to be set for you. We didn't go into the gradebook setup stuff because that's all going to be set by like your math team, your language arts teams and all that stuff.
Okay, so even like, for instance, mine says ungraded instead of overall, that will be like,
That's actually a great point. If there's anything that you want to just post as like a coloring activity or something like that, you could change it to ungraded. But it doesn't hurt to have it graded. And for this one, since we do have I want it as a graded activity here. then I would want to have it as the grade. But
Okay,
yes, you can do the ungraded if you wanted to.
okay, but as elementary teachers will have the overall, category.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, if I wanted to add in something external like a video or an article or something like that, how can I add in a resource like that?
I think same, right? You go to materials
Yeah, and
and
put hyper. How do you put it?
Yeah.
Hyperlink.
File link external tool. So I can go to my external tools here, or I can add in like a YouTube video link here. If I had like a video that I wanted to add in or something like that, that I can have
And
in
then
here.
hyper
Okay.
the link.
If you did your updates or is that for?
I could do it through updates if I wanted to. So like if I wanted to have like a dance video or something that we're going to start the day off with, or I'm going to have like a movement break or something like that, I can have it as an update as well. All right, y'all passed the quiz.